So I've decided to film this event, a little bit of a retrospect about it, since this is the only event that I don't have filmed anything about, because it rotates out every 2 to 3 years, with the other event which I have made a video about, and I'm going to leave the link to it up in the right corner of this video. So, Gem Tycoon event. Oh boy, where to start? Firstly, I had a lot of complaints that this event is not worth the time, which to a degree, let's say, I can agree. Considering that this event, personally for me, takes me about 2+ hours to finish. And I really don't have that much time to afford on just an event every single day, because my personal life is just clogged with stuff to do. So I have to really well organize myself when I'm gonna do this, which at the time of this filming, this event has been out for 2 weeks now. Probably this is the last day when I'm filming it, if they don't extend it to 1 more week, which I don't think they will. But if they do, okay, like, great, even more chances to get some inlays, or a bright ruby. However, still, I don't like how much time consuming it is. For some, it's personally not about how much time consuming it is, but about more so that the rewards are lackluster, which I guess I can also agree to a point, but I'm looking for every event to find a niche use case for my monk which I can exploit. So I really want to, let's say, pull off the best out of the event, even though if it's bad, like, I'll still find a niche use that I can make it work. But regardless, let's go just quickly over the event to see why this is pain. For me, mostly it's pain because I'm doing it solo. I can afford characters to log and do it on my own whenever I feel like. But even then, regardless, it's really time consuming, so I don't like it for that reason. So first up, kill Tan Wu Chen. Now, not to confuse it for those that haven't done this event yet, or they're seeing it for the first time, there's 2 Tan Wu Chen bosses. One is the last boss is in PRS, and the other one is in the MMC. This one, for the quest that asks, is in the Peacock River Sorrow Cave, luckily, because let's say nobody really does MMC, nor anyone would, because cave is just stupidly hard. Like, I really don't know how the people before done it. It's just mesmerizing to me. But yeah, problem with this is that you cannot skip any boss, so you really have to, not because you cannot skip any boss, you have 5 bosses to go through. And main issue is, Tan Wu Chen is tricky one, because you have to tank it with a mana range character, because staminas are just going to flat out die to the AoEs of the boss, and if you don't really pay attention to when boss applies on himself a damage reflect debuff, you're just going to attack without noticing that your health is going down, and you're just going to die, and you won't even realize what happened, because a lot of the time the buff of the damage reflect bugs, so it reflects damage even if it's not showing the buff itself on the boss. So you really have to pay attention to your health at the very most. So yeah, that's why this is pain. Second one is probably the easiest one, or the best one, is to kill Jingu in Pirate Lair. Here you only got 3 bosses, so relatively fast K, plus you can skip Octopus King's second boss. You don't really have to, but you can, because if you're just wanting to save time, you can just skip, go kill the Lang Fei and just go to Jingu right away. This one really has no issue. Maybe like first boss is a little bit hard if you don't know how to do that bug to get ignore on his AoEs, but I believe at this point even assassins and monks can tank it even without doing any bug, like especially monks. So this one is probably the easiest one or the best one to do if you're going to just go selective way. And third one is kill Zou Duo. With this one, there is kind of a benefit and a problem. Benefit is being that you can sometimes get an open door on the first boss, so you can theoretically skip it. However, the first boss has a issue. Well, I wouldn't say really it's an issue, but it's more so it can catch you off guard and just make a problem. And that's his random cast effect. So basically when he comes around, let's say 50% of health, I believe, then he casts a random effect between Team Stun, Team Fire, or selective character on aggro. If you get a Scorch or Fire, well, basically you are cooked if you don't kill it as fast as possible, because Fire is really strong, like, even for this day and age. However, the good thing of it is that boss is really low in health, like in general, and you can really punch him out very quickly. So basically you just have to go all in on it, maybe a little bit of healing at the start, and just after half the bar just kill it away even with a fairy. Second and third bosses are relatively easy, like they are no problem anymore. Now fourth boss, here is where you can run into a trouble if you are running with a mediocre or the random teams that are not, let's say, well equipped to kill as fast as possible. And that's, I believe everybody knows by now, that this boss has, as I like to call it, self-will. Basically, it can make you into self-defense status like at random, or it can randomly pull aggro on somebody that doesn't have aggro whatsoever, and basically can just throw away the entire thing to hell. Aside from that, if you don't kill him in time, or let's say overkill, he is just going to regenerate, return about 20% of his health back, call mobs which hit really hard, and basically you are basically screwed, right? But I believe by now everybody can outdamage it, so I don't see there being much of a problem. Other than, of course, as I've said, it's time consuming. Now rewards for all of 3 quests are exactly the same: 1 advanced inlay gem box and 1 magical gem. This box, as you can see, contains a random inlay, so basically all 5 inlays are in there. So as much as it's good, that much it's not, because if you open something that you don't want or don't need, you're just taking up the space. Because in my case, personally, I don't need Mortal and I don't need Vigor, so when I see those two, my head goes up in the air. Now, first exchange goes to, once again, same box, but for 1 gem. This is auto no, because this is my point of view, so everyone's gonna have their different opinion on this, but this is my point of view. I personally prefer the guaranteed thing. I don't like to gamble, because gamble will work once out of 100 times the correct way. Of course, depending what's the ratio of an item that you want to gamble for, because every box has a different ratios of the item specifically that you want for. So for this one you have 20% chance to get a gem that you actually want, so I don't like it whatsoever. Next one is the good one, and that is guaranteed Elite Valor, or for 7 gems. Now this one would be my second pick if I weren't to be max by now on the all premium valors. As you can see, I have full premium valor. The only one I don't have is on the staff, but I'm gonna make that over time. I'm not gonna rush it really, as I've rushed all those 7 on the main gear. Now the option that I went for and that I'm hunting is to get mercies. I went over why mercy is good for assassin and monk 1,000 times, even on private chats, or whoever's asked me, I've told them if you build the assassin or monk, you want mercy, you don't want vigor. Again, I cannot explain to somebody who won't or refuses just to listen, so I just say in general, whether you want to listen or not, it's up to you. And I even filmed a video and shown how and when does mercy work the best. So considering that I have only 2 premium mercies and I still need 4 of them, that was my next best option, because as I said, I like the guaranteed thing, and this is the guaranteed thing to get. Now some would actually go for this one, Elite Inlet Gem Box. However, it's semi-random because it contains Mortal, Vigor and Obduracy. Now, as much as I would need Obduracy more than Mercy, I don't like to gamble, once again. Plus, it's gonna cost me 10 gems for a 33% chance to get something that I actually need. And problem if I open Mortal or Vigor is how to get rid of it, because I have to trade. I don't want to sell it because I don't need gold, I need the gem itself. That's what most people don't understand, why I'm literally only trading, but it has a purpose. So this one is horrible. Personally for me, I would not pick it up whatsoever. Like if you need all those 3, great, go for it. But if you are looking for a guaranteed thing, or for like a Valor or for the, let's say, Mercy, you do not need this one whatsoever. And now probably the one that, let's say, most people went for is Bright Ruby. Now I did some math quickly, considering that the event has been out for 15 days now, and you get 3 gems per day, that makes you of a possibility to get total of 45 magical gems or 1 Bright Ruby. Unless, as I've said, they extend it for 1 more week, then that would put it onto 60 something, I believe, just enough to get 2 Bright Rubies. But even this is bad, because there are events from which you can gain 2 up to 3 Bright Rubies per 1 event cycle. So this one is marginally worse. Like, of course, it depends how long it's gonna last. But if it's gonna last only 15 days, you can only get 1, and then for the rest of the gems, like, you can exchange for something, whatever you need. But yeah, considering all of this, I can see why this is bad event, even though it comes every 2 to 3 years. It has some weird cycle. I didn't really follow it up, but I did notice that it was missing out on 2024 and 2023 events. So last time this was out was 2022. But I guess along the way, if you are going to already do this event, you can also take some of the guild quests for PRS and for West Palace, because on the way that you have to get to every single cave, to the last bosses in all 3 cases, you might as well just get yourself some EXP and energy. Like, if you're max level, you don't care for EXP, you just want the energy. But regardless, like, you can take these 2, like, even though it doesn't require Tanmu Chen, you cannot skip these first 4 bosses regardless. And even here, like, Tsanger is skippable if the doors open, but these 2 last ones are not, so you might as well just grab them anyway. But yeah, overall looking, yeah, this event, let's say, is paying in the rear end. I don't really like it, like, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, I don't usually ever say for event that I don't like it, because it's at least something that's happening in the game, which is very rare nowadays. But this event, literally, I'm like, just get it out of my eyes. Like, I really don't have time for it. As I said, I've done it only 3 days out of these 15, how long it's been out for now. And if it stays for one more week, I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna do it for once or twice more, because I really don't have time to do it. Like I said, it takes me more than 2 hours to complete all 3, even though I run alone. But even if you run in a random team, you're still going to take at the very least 2 hours, because PRS by default is just a long K. Like, you have to go this, do that. Bosses, if you mess up, they are a little bit complex to recover from, and they are easy to mess up if you don't pay attention what you're doing actually. So yeah, but I guess the only positive out of all this is that, as I said this every single year, if you care for residual shadows, this is the only time of the year in July when they hit 40 points, so please do a must buy. I will do a must buy, I don't know how much, but I do need to get these amulets to level 10, I need to buy super skill level 5, and I need to work on those lake wave rings as well. So with that being said, I guess it's not all black. Take the positive, focus on it. Negative stuff ignore. If you don't want to do the entire event, you don't have to, nobody's forcing you. Like, if you don't want to do event at all, because I know many don't, they just consider it waste of time or waste of time for the reward that it's coming out of it. So yeah, with that being said, I'll see you in the next video with hopefully some better topic, because I literally just wanted to cover this quickly so that's on the channel for some future time when the event shows up and maybe something changes. We'll see. Anyway, take care and I'll see you the next time.